What is up, guys? We're live again. Of course, we got to do another NFL preview. First game was last night. We're going to get some reactions on that and then reactions on the rest of the week, see what happens. We're live on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok. We got a special guest today. Let's see if it actually will put the names on here today since, it's a different person. We have Kylie here, one of my best Twitter friends. We just pretty much bitch about the Phillies all the time together. So, let's get into it. Let's go over the slate today. How you doing first, Kylie? While I get this
I'm good, man. How are you? That loss last night sucked, though.
Oh, that was terrible. I don't even like. I'm just like so at the point whenever David Robertson comes in, I'm like, I know they're gonna lose this game. Okay, here we go. So of course, last night, let's see, is it working right? Yeah, we're good. Last night, Bills beat the crap out of the Rams. That really surprised me. I picked the Rams in this game. I thought the Rams were going to win. And for them to get absolutely stomped like they did, Matt Stafford didn't look like he did. The defense looked like trash. Did you watch the game at all? Do you have any thoughts on it?
So I didn't watch the entire thing, but I had the Rams going and winning, and I didn't want to pick the Rams, but I was like, they're at home. McVay is undefeated, opening first game of the season. So I was like, you know what? Rams could win it, but they just got their asses kicked. I mean, Stafford got sacked 7 times.
Yeah, the offensive line was absolutely terrible. And I guess Whitworth being out now is that much of a difference. But they got to figure something out because, I mean, they can't play like that the rest of the year. Maybe it's just first week jitters. But it almost reminded me like that first game back for the Eagles after the Super Bowl. Yeah, I think we wound up winning that game against the Falcons, but it was a close game. They did not look like themselves. Stafford only throws to one receiver now, apparently. I looked. It was like he threw to Cooper Kupp like 15 times, and the rest of the receivers like 12. Like crazy.
Yeah, it was something ridiculous like that. Like it's. I mean, when...
Oh no, he threw to white receivers 32 times, and he only threw to black guys 8.
So that's where that is coming from.
That's where that came from. Like, Slime and I were talking about that.
Because I was like, what the hell? Like, where is this coming from? Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
So, first game we have here on this list, they're all at 1 o'clock, so it doesn't really matter. But Saints and Falcons, to me, there's not really that much of a doubt in my mind who's going to win this game. I think the Saints are a much better team than the Falcons are at this point. You saw the video I made about Jameis Winston the other day. I think Jameis Winston's going to be a very good quarterback this year. Mm-hmm. Obviously, as Eagles fans, we hope he's not going to be a good quarterback, but everything I've seen from him past the Buccaneers era, he looks like a different dude.
He looks completely different, and maybe it's his eye surgery helped with that. I don't know, but I am higher on the Saints than a lot of people. I just need them to not be good.
Yeah, exactly. Like, let's hope Marcus May is like suspended for the year, like something like that. We stole CJ from them, so hopefully that changes things. But who knows?
Yeah.
The next game here on this slate. The next game here on this slate is going to be very interesting. You got Deshaun Watson rapist team against the Panthers, who took Baker Mayfield from them, pretty much stole him for nothing. It's going to be a very interesting game. The Browns don't have the rapist. They have Jacoby Brissett in there. Who knows? For me, like, I think the Browns overall are still a good team, despite not having a quarterback. But I think the Panthers, with that extra jolt there with Baker Mayfield, are going to be able to pull this game off and win. But yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm definitely hammering every over for the Panthers just because Baker Mayfield has an agenda and it's clear. So I'm thinking he's just going to go off on them.
Oh, yeah. Baker's that kind of guy who he's got the attributes to do it. He just seemed to make some bad decisions last year. It almost reminded me of Carson Wentz a little bit. There's some of the decisions he was making. And we know when Carson Wentz makes good decisions and takes care of the football, he's a very good quarterback. Same thing can happen with Mayfield.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's actually pretty much a perfect comp. I mean, we've seen Wentz do incredible things, and we've seen him do
yeah.
stupid things, exactly like Baker.
Yeah. Third game we got here, kind of a stinker, not going to lie. 49ers against the Bears. In my opinion, two bad quarterbacks. I think Fields and Lance are going to be okay in the future, but right now they just aren't, to me, anything special. They show flashes, both of them, but I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, two decent defenses. I do think the 49ers are going to pull it out, though, because they are a better team overall. But what do you think about this one?
So they seem to be really high on Lance for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, they've obviously seen way more of him than we have, but I'm not sold on him. And I think with the Niners defense is so good, and so is the Bears. I just think I'm going to give the edge to the Bears on this one, just because they have a more experienced quarterback. But it's going to be a very, very close game.
Yeah, it will be a close game, and I don't know what it is with Lance, why he's won the job over Garoppolo. I mean, I get it, Garoppolo's got one more year, but almost like I guess it hasn't worked with him before, so that's why they're still not going with him. But to me, I just still see Garoppolo as a better quarterback.
I think so too. And I mean, to just throw away a guy that's gotten you to the NFC Championship game twice and was very close to getting you a Super Bowl win, it's hard to ignore that resume from him.
Yeah, for sure. Next game here, Steelers and Bengals. How do you feel about this game? I'll let you go first.
The Bengals are going to walk on the Steelers.
Yeah,
and I don't think it's going to be much of an issue.
I agree. I from everything I saw, I thought Kenny Pickett was a better quarterback here for the Steelers. I don't know why he didn't win the job honestly. I guess it's because they paid Mitch, but I think Pickett is just Pickett's that guy this year that he's not going to be a tremendous quarterback, but kind of like Mac Jones, he's just going to go in there and do damage. He's going to win games. He's not tremendous at anything, but he's ready. He's NFL ready already. But yeah, in this game, I got the Bengals. It's almost kind of disgusting the Bengals didn't even get a 425 game. You got the Titans with a 425 game against a trash team. Why did the Bengals not get one? But yeah, obviously we aren't going to be watching this game most likely because the next game that is on, at least I get it here. I'm not sure if you get it down there where you're at. We got the Eagles and the Lions. I'll let you go first on this one too.
I won't get this game, but I have my ways of watching it, so I'm not too worried about that part. But I'm high on Dan Campbell. I'm high on Goff, and they were the best shitty team last year, so they're going to be a lot better this year. But with that said, the Eagles they're just too good. We have too many weapons on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. And for me, I do think the Eagles are going to win this game. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think, though.
Yep.
The Lions are just a team this year they may not win more than 7 or 8 games, but they're going to just give people fits all year, and it's going to wind up being like a low scoring somehow or high scoring but very close. I don't know how it's really going to play out. All I know is the Eagles need to run the football, and yes, I know they got those new acquisitions there with AJ Brown. But the way the Eagles win is through the trenches because they had the best offensive line in football and they had the best run game in all of football last year. If they stick with that this year, they're going to be just fine.
Yeah, and if Hurts improves his passing, it's
well, and that's just the thing. You don't want to force it with Hurts if he's not comfortable.
Right.
And at least last year, he didn't look comfortable throwing the football.
No.
There was times where he looked okay, but passing wise, he's just not there yet. What makes Jalen Hurts a decent quarterback is his running game. And that's the one thing with Jalen Hurts is he is elite at something. He is an elite runner. And if you want to build on something, that's what you should build on.
Yeah. And it's just nice to have those weapons for him to use when he is comfortable. And I think it's going to be I think they're definitely going to be passing a lot more just because of who we got, but the running game will definitely take us over the edge and wins.
Yeah, I agree. Next game here, kind of another stinker. I mean, I don't have any use in watching this game. We got Matt Ryan and the Colts, which sounds insanely weird to say,
It does.
against the Houston Texans. I think the Colts walk them. I think the Colts are going to be a decent team this year. I still think they're like one of those fringe teams who may make some noise in the regular season, but once it gets to playoffs, they're just not going to be good enough. And then they're going up against the Texans, who, in my mind, are maybe the worst team in the NFL this year. Davis Mills is okay, but they just don't have much talent, period.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not high on Matt Ryan right now, but he's on a better team. The Colts didn't do too much to improve the wide receiver room, so that's going to be tough. But they do have Jonathan Taylor, and it is the Texans, so I don't think it's going to be a problem for them whatsoever.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So next game here, we got the Patriots at the Dolphins. We know how much the Patriots have had problems with the Dolphins in the past, especially in Miami.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen with this game? New look Dolphins as well. Maybe interesting.
It's going to be very interesting. I've heard very negative things coming from the Patriots about their offense, whereas I've only heard positives about the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are going to be just fine against the Patriots. I think they'll win.
Yeah, I'm actually on the other side here. I don't trust Tua one bit. And yeah, I get it. They got Tyreek Hill, but it doesn't matter if you can't get him the football. That's what worries me is even that deep pass he threw against the Eagles. That pass was underthrown against
Yeah,
a
it
good
was.
corner. That ball's probably picked off. So I'm not huge on Tua. I think it's going to be a close game. It's a pick 'em between either of them. But I think that the Patriots will squeak it out. And I think the Patriots are going to squeak out a lot of wins this year. I don't think they're going to be a great team, but I think they do sneak in there with Mac Jones. I think I'm higher on Mac Jones than a lot of people are. But I just think Mac Jones is kind of like Jimmy Garoppolo, where he's just like average enough to win games.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah. Next game here, we got another stinker. I mean, we got the Ravens against the Jets with Joe Flacco. So
Yeah.
I don't have to say much here. The Ravens should, if the Ravens are a legit team, they will walk the Jets. And it
Oh,
shouldn't
yeah,
be,
absolutely.
shouldn't be, yeah.
It's Flacco's first time returning to Baltimore, too, so.
Well, no, it's in New York, I believe. Is it?
I mean, it's his first time playing Baltimore. My bad.
It's first time playing Baltimore. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
That'll be interesting. I mean, maybe Joey Flacco pulls out an elite performance here.
Hey, maybe.
So. That the one thing the Jets seem to have now, though, are some wide receivers. They got some young wide receivers who may be able to make some plays for them. This next game is going to be really interesting. We got the former Super Bowl champion coach from the Eagles, Doug Peterson, against the former Super Bowl champion quarterback who's on the bench, Carson Wentz. I'll let you preview this one first because I know you're from that area down there. I know you hear a lot about this team. What do you think?
Not many people around here are high on Wentz.
Really?
But obviously I am. So I mean, Peterson knows Wentz. Wentz knows Peterson, but I think Peterson knowing Wentz is the more important part. But I just think Washington's just better overall. And I think they're gonna win. I don't know how close it'll be, but
yeah, it's going to be interesting which Carson Wentz we see this year with the Commanders.
Yeah.
I mean, if Carson Wentz is smart and makes good decisions, he's got probably more weapons than he's ever had in his career now. Jahan Dotson was a very underrated draft pick, and a lot of people bashed it a lot, but he's exactly what Carson Wentz needs. He's a guy who can go down the field and track a deep ball. He hasn't had that his whole career. Carson loves to throw it deep. He's got that now. they may do some damage. They may actually sneak into a wild card spot. They may be better than the Cowboys this year, honestly.
That's what
Um,
I'm saying, dude.
yeah, but saying that, I love Trevor Lawrence.
I
And I
know, I
think
do too.
this is Trevor Lawrence's year. He's going to be that quarterback this year. There's always a quarterback that in their second year just blossoms. I think that's Trevor Lawrence, and I think Trevor Lawrence is actually going to find a way to win this game against the Commanders. It will be close,
Very.
but I believe in Trevor Lawrence, and I think he'll get it done. Also, think the Commanders are just a shit show as a front office, so I don't know how that's
Oh
going to
my
go either.
god, they're a disaster.
Yeah. Next game here, we got Giants and Titans. This is just a shit game. I don't know why this is a 425 game. I hope I get the Packers at Vikings, honestly, but I know I'm going to get this game, unfortunately. I don't want to watch it. Like, it's Daniel Jones, the worst quarterback in the league, against Ryan Tannehill, one of the mid quarterbacks in the league. Nothing pops out here. I think the Titans are just a much better team overall. Titans should win this game pretty easily. How are you feeling about this one?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think even with Dable as their head coach, that New York is still just going to be a bottom feeder team hunting for CJ Stroud or Bryce Young at the end of the year. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
I
just
mean,
not going to be good.
They're starting to build some young talent there, but they just like the Commanders really haven't found their quarterback yet. Maybe Carson Wentz is a quarterback for the Commanders there. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Next game, Chiefs and Cardinals. For me, this is like a game to watch. This is a very interesting game to me. Two quarterbacks who like to get outside the pocket and make plays. Not a huge Kyler Murray fan, but he's still a good quarterback. Patrick Mahomes, to me, is the best quarterback in the game. To me, I picked the Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl this year. I got the Chiefs win this game by a decent amount. What do you think?
I think Arizona just knocks a win here.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be very, very close, but like last second type of close. But this is one of those things I could see it going either way. And with Mahomes not having to focus on Tyreek Hill, it could open up a lot of things for him too. So it could go either way.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody's like all focused on Tyreek Hill, but I think their weapons now are more spread around. Last year you had McCall Hardman and Tyreek Hill, who are the same type receiver.
Yeah.
Now you got guys who are possession catching guys with Sky Moore, but you still got the speed threat in Hardman. I think they're going to be just fine. I think Patrick Mahomes may have actually made Tyreek Hill. The speed you can't teach, but we'll see. Raiders and Chargers, this may be the best game of the week, honestly. Rematch of the last game of the regular season where the Chargers got knocked out. I was surprised the Chargers didn't win that game. And, I mean, I'm going to go with the Chargers again. I think the Chargers are just a better football team. I think Herbert's a better quarterback. Yeah, I know the Raiders got Devontae Adams, but he doesn't really – to me, I don't think he makes that team a whole lot better than what they were.
Yeah, I don't think he makes them that much better. I mean, we've seen what a true number one wide receiver can do. I mean, look at Burrow and Jamar Chase. But if the Chargers don't have a fantastic season, they're like it's for nothing. I mean, the defense they have is insane. They just got Khalil Mack. They have the Chargers are better all around. I don't see how the Chargers lose this game, although the Raiders are still a very good team.
Yeah, it's one of those toss-up type games again. Then we got this also may be the best game of the week too. Packers versus Vikings. Aaron Rodgers without Devontae Adams now. That may be a bigger storyline than the Raiders with Devontae Adams, honestly. Going to the Vikings with, as I've seen a lot of places now, Super Bowl favorite or MVP favorite Kirk Cousins, which I don't understand one bit, but apparently Kirk Cousins is an MVP. I got the Packers win this game. I don't trust Kirk Cousins. I don't. I get it. He's got good stats, but I just don't think Kirk Cousins is that good of a quarterback.
I'm gonna go Vikings on this one. I think it's gonna be close. I just don't know how the Packers are gonna be without a number one wide receiver. I mean, having a number one wide receiver does so much to help a quarterback. I mean, I know it's Aaron Rodgers, but
see that, and that's part of it with me is I feel like Aaron Rodgers just makes guys. Like Devontae Adams was a second round pick. Yeah, he was very good in college, but like he wasn't a guy who's like, oh, this guy's gonna come out and be a number one wide receiver. He gets the guys like Randall Cobb, Jordy Nelson, and just makes them good receivers. And to me, I don't think it really matters who the receivers are for Rodgers. We'll see. Maybe since he's older now, it might be different, but we'll see. I got the Packers in this one by a little bit. Next game, Buccaneers against the Cowboys. The Cowboys always get a primetime game, of course. Should be a good game still. Brady coming off all those issues in training camp. Very interesting. I still think the Buccaneers are a better team. The Buccaneers still may win the NFC this year. I think the Cowboys got a little bit worse than they were last year. I don't know. What do you think?
I just can't believe they gave Tom Brady a fourth preseason game. Because the Cowboys are just, I mean, we've seen it every year. The Cowboys are good. This year, nobody's high on them. And finally, because we've all been saying it for so long, the Cowboys aren't going to do anything. Brady's issues are relatively concerning, but I still think they're just going to walk on the Cowboys.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be an absolute stomping because it is in Dallas where they bring their own refs. So there's always that. But, yeah. And the Monday night game, to me, is kind of a stinker, too. I mean, the Seahawks they're going to be bad this year. They're probably one of the worst teams in the NFL. I get why they did it because it is Mr. Russell Wilson's homecoming there. The Broncos should beat the crap out of the Seahawks in this game. I don't think it should be close.
Yeah, it definitely shouldn't be close at all.
Yeah. Well, moving on a
little
little bit.
Another team fighting for CJ Stroud.
Yeah. Moving on a little bit, we got the Phillies. And the Phillies, to me, seem like they're in a free fall. Yes, they still are. I believe it's 2.5 games above the Brewers for the wild card spot. Thankfully, the Brewers haven't been playing well. But the Phillies don't have any relief pitching right now. And they don't have a guy who can close games again. They had Dominguez there for a while, and they said Dominguez was throwing again today. He was only throwing around 95, 96, which that's a bad sign to me. When Dominguez is his best, he's throwing 100 miles an hour. I don't know if he's going to be able to miss bats at 95, 96.
Yeah, that part is definitely concerning. And I mean, it just seems right now that the known September collapse is just happening yet again. But I think this is a different year for them entirely. I mean, we only have to go 500 for the rest of the season, and we have no problem get that wild card spot. And the Brewers have to go like 18-8. Like they have to go a ridiculous amount and win most of their games just to beat us. So I'm not too worried about it yet.
I don't know. I just see like last night was a game they needed to win. Yeah, I know it was only a game against the Marlins, but when you come back from that kind of deficit and you're up 5-4 in the ninth inning, you need to close that game out.
Yes.
And I know there's a lot of people who loved that David Robertson trade. I was one of the ones who I liked Ben Brown. I thought Ben Brown is going to be a very good pitcher. He's dominating the minors down there so far. Ben Brown could have been that Griff McGarry type that they could have brought him up right now and not wasted an arm like Griff McGarry. Griff McGarry, they might have stunted his growth at this point, putting him in the bullpen and saying, oh, wait, next year, you're a starter again. I don't like that at all,
No.
Especially for a top prospect like that. I still don't like that trade. I don't think that David Robertson's helping us at this point. I think he's done. He's lost his velocity. He's not the same pitcher, and I don't know who else you throw out there. I mean, Alvarado at points, but I don't think Alvarado is necessarily a closer either.
He's definitely not. He's very iffy, and I mean when he's on, he's on, but when he's off, it's a disaster.
Well, that's the thing. If he can't control his pitches, watch out.
Exactly.
The other thing is Bryce Harper. To me, seems like he's still hurt, and he is still hurt because he does have that arm injury. But he just does not look like Bryce Harper out there at all, and it's super concerning because you still don't have Castellanos back yet. Like the offense right now is struggling, and I don't know what is going to be the jolt that. Schwarber looks like a shell of himself from earlier. I think a lot of these guys are just banged up and hurt. That's another thing that worries me. It's like I know people have a different feeling about this team, but that same team isn't the same team we're seeing right now. And it feels like we're just limping in the playoffs instead of hitting on all cylinders like we should be. And that worries me a lot. Maybe I'm just overreacting. I know a lot of people like to say I'm an overreactor, and sometimes I am. But I guess I'm just overreacting, but I don't know. It worries me a lot.
The only reason I'm not worried too much right now is because the Brewers are shitting the bed too, just like we are.
Yeah.
So we have that. And with that third wild card spot, I'm not too worried just yet. I mean, we always do this, and then they always somehow pull us back in. So hopefully it's one of those things where it happens still. But that loss, that we needed to win that game last night.
Yeah, I mean, luckily we have a free win tonight because Patrick Corbin's pitching. So there's that. I mean, they should realistically just sweep the Nationals. You sweep the Nationals here, I think it's over. I think you got the playoffs. But they need a sweep. This is one of those weekends. Just go for it, win it.
Absolutely. But you know what they say? It's not hard beating Philadelphia as much as we say it is.
Yeah, I mean,
so
we see. It feels like we're playing against ourselves right now because last night you beat Sandy Alcantara. Last night they beat him, but then the Phillies beat themselves. Rhys Hoskins can't field. I honestly know everybody loves Rhys, but he's a DH, and they already have a couple DHs. Honestly,
too many.
I wouldn't bring him back.
See, that's where it's tough because what you could do is get Trey Turner, keep Segura, and move Bohm to first. I mean, Bohm's been great at third, but if you could put Trey Turner, Segura, Stott, and Bohm in the infield.
Well, Schwarber did play okay at first base last year too, so they have options there. They can put somebody else there at first base. The bat's there sometimes, but when's the last time Hoskins has really gotten a big hit? I know he's got the stats there, but it seems like every time you're in a big situation, he sucks. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and it's kind of telling when he just had his first walk-off this year.
Yeah. And that surprised me. I'm like, really? Only his first walk-off? And he's been here for a while now. This isn't just like you'd think with one of the bum teams they had. But no. Well, that was a great episode. Thanks for coming on, Kylie. Make sure everybody follows her. She's at Beer Battered Sports as well. If you guys want to check out her podcast, go do it. We'll see what happens this week. Let's go, Birds. Kind of hot.
Yeah, we'll see.